Imagine a country so wealthy that traders traveled thousands of kilometers just to buy its products. A country whose spices, textiles, and precious stones were desired across the world. A country so important that European explorers risked their lives searching for a direct route to reach it. That country was medieval India. But how did India become one of the most influential regions on Earth? And how did it help shape the modern world? Let's find out. To understand medieval India, we must first go back more than 1,000 years. After the decline of the Gupta Empire around the 6th century, India became divided into many kingdoms. No single ruler controlled the entire subcontinent. Instead, numerous regional powers competed for influence. Despite political divisions, trade, culture, and learning continued to flourish. Beginning in the 8th century, new influences entered the Indian subcontinent. Arab traders had already established strong commercial connections with India's western coast. Later, Turkish and Afghan rulers expanded into northern India. In 1206, the Delhi Sultanate was established. For the first time in centuries, large parts of northern India were united under a powerful centralized state. The Sultanate expanded trade, administration, and military power across much of the region. In 1526, Babur defeated the Sultan of Delhi at the First Battle of Panipat. This victory marked the beginning of the Mughal Empire. Over the next 2 centuries, Mughal rulers expanded their control across much of the Indian subcontinent. Under Akbar, the empire became stronger, wealthier, and more stable. Roads improved, cities expanded, trade increased. The wealth and power of medieval India were not only visible in its trade and economy, but also in its remarkable architecture and engineering achievements. Across the Indian subcontinent, rulers built massive forts, palaces, temples, mosques, and entire cities that demonstrated both artistic excellence and advanced engineering skills. One of the most famous examples is the Taj Mahal in Agra, built by Emperor Shah Jahan in the 17th century. This magnificent monument was constructed using white marble and decorated with intricate carvings and precious stones. Today, it is recognized as one of the greatest architectural masterpieces ever created and attracts millions of visitors every year. But the Taj Mahal was only one part of a much larger architectural tradition. The Mughal Empire also built impressive structures such as the Red Fort in Delhi and the city of Fatehpur Sikri. These sites combined Persian, Central Asian, and Indian influences, creating a unique architectural style that still shapes South Asian architecture today. Meanwhile, engineering innovations played a crucial role in supporting growing populations and expanding cities. Rulers invested heavily in roads, bridges, wells, reservoirs, and irrigation systems. These projects helped to transport goods, improve agriculture, and connect distant regions of the empire. Large forts such as Agra Fort and numerous Rajput fortresses were designed not only for defense but also as centers of administration and trade. Their massive walls, gateways, and strategic locations demonstrated a deep understanding of military engineering. These architectural and engineering achievements reflected the prosperity and sophistication of medieval India. Many of these structures have survived for centuries and continue to stand as symbols of India's rich cultural heritage. Even today, they remind us that medieval India was not only a land of powerful empires, but also a civilization capable of creating some of the world's most extraordinary buildings and engineering projects. Millions of people lived under one of the most powerful empires in the world. At its peak, the Mughal Empire controlled nearly a quarter of the world's economic output. During the medieval period, India was one of the world's leading economic centers. Indian merchants exported spices, cotton textiles, silk, indigo, and precious stones across Asia, Africa, and Europe. The Indian Ocean became one of the busiest trade networks on Earth. Indian goods reached China, Arabia, East Africa, and eventually Europe. Many of the products people used every day in distant countries originated in India. By the 15th century, European demand for Indian goods had become enormous. Spices were extremely valuable. Indian textiles were considered among the finest in the world. European kingdoms wanted direct access to this wealth. This desire led to one of the most important developments in history, the Age of Exploration. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached India by sea. This moment changed global history forever. European powers soon began establishing trading posts along India's coastline. By the early 18th century, the Mughal Empire began to weaken. Regional powers challenged imperial authority. Political instability increased. At the same time, European trading companies gained influence. What began as commerce gradually evolved into political control. The medieval era was coming to an end. A new colonial age was about to begin. Medieval India was far more than a land of kings and battles. It was one of the world's richest economies, a center of global trade, a meeting point of cultures, and a civilization whose influence reached far beyond its borders. From international commerce to cultural exchange, many features of our modern world were shaped by developments that took place in medieval India. Its story is not just India's story. It is part of the story of how the modern world was built.